Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session. Today, we are going to be exploring how to use Canva. This one is going to focus on just the basics on how to get started. The second part of this series will be how to implement it in your classroom to get students to create and to see how and what they've created. So, this session is just the basics and it's suitable for anyone that is in the classroom, in an administrative role, or any support staff that's going to be making graphics or websites or newsletters or anything to talk to the community. So, the first thing we need to do is go to Canva, canva.com/education. Now, if you're watching the video and taking notes, you can write that down, but I will also put the link underneath the video on YouTube in the comment notes. That way you can find it to click on it. So, the first thing you want to do is click sign up now. And if you are a teacher, you're going to be able to click sign up with Google. And I'm using Audrey's account, so we will see. All right, and you can see that we can get verified as a teacher. Last name. And where hers is a student account, it's not going to let me do that. But if you were a teacher, you would be able to go in and it would give you some confetti and you would automatically be in Canva for education. All right, so for future reference, you no longer have to go to canva.com/education. Just go to canva.com and you will be on the page where you can go and create things. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's start talking about how to create and what we can create in Canva. Over here to the side, you're going to notice some things. For this session, we're just going to be focused on recommended for you and all of your designs. We'll also talk about the templates up here at the top, and we'll get into the other stuff in the second part of the session. On the recommended for you, you're going to have, you might not have anything yet if you've not created anything at all on Canva, but this is where all of your recommendations will be. You can also go to all your designs to see everything that you've created in the past. So they will all live right here, and you can click on them in order to edit. So, yeah, it's loading. All right, so let's just pretend that loaded. I'll go back to it in a minute. You can see that I have presentations on here. I have a poster that I've created. I have like a newsletter, and I have a presentation. Like, you can do so much in Canva. Presentations, newsletters, all of that, and it's just all so easy. I'll post a few copies of links that you can explore to see different types of things that I've created if you want. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to hop in on how to create for yourself. So up here at the top, I'm just going to put my mouse over templates, and I can see some recommendations that Canva has for me. I have social media, personal, business, marketing, education, and trending. That's a whole lot. If you are wanting to make like a Facebook post and you just want a cute little graphic to catch your readers or your viewers' attention, I totally recommend using Instagram post or Facebook post. Instagram post is going to be the perfect size. Here's an example of one of those, and you can just download that, and it's going to be like a little square, just like an Instagram picture. So that's really handy for that. I always recommend, anything that we discover or we talk about for any of these templates, is going to be the same. So, like, whether you pick presentations or you pick posters or flyers or infographics or whatever, I'm going to pick presentation just because to me, that one's going to be the most versatile whenever you share it out. And it doesn't really have to be like a PowerPoint presentation, but they all kind of work the same. If you click a poster, it's going to make it be really large. And we found earlier today in the PD that was in person that that doesn't necessarily have all of the capabilities like for interactivity that you're going to see in this presentation. The videos and stuff that we embedded wouldn't play. But you do have all of these other types that you can look at. Okay, so I picked presentation. Oop, go back. And you'll see that it has some templates here that I can pick from just if I wanted to create something and have the structure of it already selected. So if I wanted to use this one, I could click customize this template, and anything that is on here, I am going to have the capability to change and delete out. Okay, so of course I would want to change this title and maybe put Franklin County Schools. And then I could edit any of the others as well. And then go on to the next page. Now, if there's something on the page that I don't like I want to use a different picture, I could click on that and delete it off. I just pressed backspace and it deleted it. And I can delete any of these as well. Now, sometimes for certain presentations, before I jump ahead, if I want to delete a slide, like I don't need a timeline, I can click the little delete button. Sometimes templates aren't the way to go because we want to start from scratch. Now, you can click create a blank presentation and you can create this to match whatever style that you want to have. And anything that we talk about from this point forward, you can use on a template that you created or you can use in a blank one. So once you're here, it's still going to give you some templates to pick from. You can scroll through those if you want, or if you do not want to use them and you want to create your own, that's what I always do too, so you're not alone. First thing, if you plan on printing this, let's say that I know I picked a presentation, but I want to make this be printable and I want it to be on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Click resize before you put anything on there so your paper is not going to be disoriented whenever you print it. So I'm going to change it from pixels to inches. And I'm going to say 8.5 by 11 because I want to print it later. And then I'm going to click, if you click copy and resize, you're going to have a blank one in your library. So I'm just going to click resize. And now if I print this, it's going to be in paper form. While I'm working, sometimes it's really hard for me if I leave it zoomed all the way out. So I like to zoom in and just use my 2-finger scroll or my up and down scroll on my mouse to scroll up and down while I work. I'm going to skip down over here to the side and I want to find the T for text. And I'm going to click on that. And this is pretty cool because you can click to add text to the page. You can pick from a heading, a subheading, or a little body of text. And it doesn't matter which one of these you pick because you're going to be able to change the size of that and also the font to match however you want. You also have the option to pick from different font combinations. And these are really helpful because for people that might not have as creative of an eye for fonts like myself, I can use these to kind of give me some ideas on what will look good. So, of course, I would change the words. I don't want to leave dazzle. I might put welcome. And then down here, I might put to FCS or something like that. And then to move it, I just clicked in the middle where the text is, and I'm just scrolling up and scrolling down to find a way or a spot. All right. If I click on it, I'm going to have the ability to change the font, change the text size, also change the color. It gives me some defaults to pick from, but there's also the spectrum of color that you can scroll through and find whatever color it is that you're looking for. And to change the color, you just make sure you've clicked on that box, or you can even highlight the letters that you want to change. Oh, that might be way too bright. And you can just play around and find whatever colors is going to match your scheme. Okay. So after you selected your font, you're going to have the ability to italicize and bold. A lot of these, some of them, they won't let you just based upon how the font is set up. You can also click this lowercase and uppercase to make it be all lowercase or all uppercase, or however you've typed it. These buttons will do exactly what you're thinking, centered, align, and all of that. Your bullets. This is how you can letter space and line space. So make those lines be shorter or taller, either one. Effects will let you change how these letters appear, so you can play around with that and find whichever one's going to match, however you're feeling. Animate, and if you're printing this out, animations, of course, will not print the way that we are seeing them, but if you're doing a presentation and you want some animations, you can pick through these and find one that's going to match whatever it is that you are wanting to make. And then finally, we've got this block of text because we picked a custom one that was already created. And notice that when I move one of these, it's moving both. And that's because those two things are grouped together. If I want to move just to FCS, I can click ungroup, make sure that I've clicked on the text box first. And now I'm going to have the ability to move these around. I'm going to come back to position later on. All right. Now, sometimes I get a lot of things on my page and I'm like, okay, I really need for these two things to stay exactly where they are. And I'm going to be adding pictures and elements, different types of things onto this page. So I'm going to click, and I'm holding down my click, just moving my finger on my mouse pad, and I'm going to highlight everything that I want to be locked into place. Everything that I know is at the perfect location and I do not want it to move. And I'm going to click the lock button. And now I'm not able to move that. I won't be able to move it until I click on it again and click the lock button, and then I can move it. That's very helpful if you plan on layering things or putting other things on your page, and you're going to be moving a lot of stuff around. All right. Now, go to elements up here or over here to the far left, and you can search for anything here. I'm going to look up a rectangle. I use rectangles a lot for borders and just for boxes. And I really like to put these on my page to kind of break up my text, especially if I'm doing like a newsletter or something. So I'm going to move my corners around to how I want them. I can change the border of that. And then I can just continue to move it. And notice that I have to click on my box because I do not have the ability to move my text anymore. So I've got that there. There's all sorts of different little elements. Let's just pretend that I like this. I'm going to make it be smaller. So I want that to fit inside of my border. And you can play around. You're going to find different ways to be creative and find things that work for you. I might just want to have that in there as just like another layer inside of my box. And let's say I do like that. I can click this little flag here. It looks kind of like a race flag. And I can make my apples, because I've got that clicked. Remember, I still got it selected. I can make the transparency be lighter just to have a background, just so it'll be there. All right. So there's elements, there's graphics, there's photos. I like to look up stickers sometimes, just because if you look up stickers, I have to put word stickers, I think. Yeah. And I can find like this little icon here that says important, just to kind of make my little sections pop a little bit. I would highly recommend for things like this wow, and I'm going to scroll past that. Some things are that they have a lot of movement, and we don't know what all different capabilities and abilities that our viewers will have. So just be cautious whenever you're looking at things that change colors or flash a lot, very bright and very vividly, because we don't want to alarm anyone or cause them to have any type of negative experiences while they're looking at our newsletters or whatever that we're creating. So all sorts of great elements. Underneath elements over here to the side, we have uploads, and uploads will let you upload your media. So the two that I use the most often is Device and Google Drive. You can upload from Facebook and upload from Instagram, especially if you're a classroom teacher or you work on the school's Facebook page. You might want to take some things and put them in Canva for some reason, but Device is usually what I use. And here, any picture that I have downloaded onto my computer, I can click on it and click open. And once it uploads, I'm going to have the ability to click on that from over here to the side, and it's going to put it over here. Anytime that I want to resize something, I'm just going to grab a corner, and I'm holding my click down and moving it diagonally to make it be smaller, and I can put that wherever it is that I want it to go. Once you have something in your Canva, it's going to stay there. So if you want to delete something out, you can just put your mouse over top of that icon or that picture, click the three dots, and select trash, and it will move it. One of the things that I love the most about Canva is that you have the ability to record yourself. So under uploads, you can click record yourself and start recording. Hello, welcome to the PD session. I'm going to end that recording. And if I'm happy with it, like I can listen to it. Hello. And if I'm happy with that, I can press save and back to editing, or I can save and record another, or I can discard that recording. So I'm happy. I'm going to click insert, and it's going to be there. Now, at the beginning, I said that I'm using presentations because I felt like the interactivity of it is going to be so much easier. That's because if you download this as a PDF and you put it on your classroom website, or you put it on the district webpage, or the school webpage if you're working at a school or wherever, and somebody clicks that link, they're going to be able to see your video, and they'll be able to click on it and listen to it from wherever they're viewing it online. Now, if you plan on printing it, again, you could put a QR code beside of here, but I would recommend recording that video in Screencastify. That way you can share a link just to that. But you could record and share a QR code to this page. Notice that saved to my videos tab, and any video that I put on my Canva or in any Canva is going to save to my account. And these are some that I've used in the past, and I might want to put one of those videos on there. So I can add those, and it's always going to be there. So for next year, if I want to do something similar and I have the same thought process, I can find that and put that in there. Now, audio, if you have like something on your computer to where you can just record audio, Screencastify will do this. You can insert your audio there. All right. Photos are a lot like elements. So you can search for anything here. I'm going to look up school. Let's say that I like this one. So I can put that on there. But one of my favorite things to do is find a picture. I might want to position it and send it all the way to the back so it's in the background of everything that I'm putting in there, or all the way forward to the front, either way, or slowly to the back, however I want to do it. But then I like to take my transparency and make it be very subtle, just a little bit viewable, just to have that background. It's there, but it's not so in your face. So you can totally do that. And then let's say that I want to walk that because that's going to be part of my background. I'm going to click on that element or that picture and press my lock button. So it's always going to be there. So we've talked about text. Let's talk now. If I want everything to be centered on my page, I'm going to click and highlight everything on my page that I'm working on. And I said a while ago I was going to come back to position. So I'm going to click position, and I can click center, and it's going to center everything. Or if I want to space evenly, I can put vertically or horizontally, and it's going to space everything up. Or I might want to click tidy up. Now, it doesn't always work the way that I want it to, but if I have just one group of text that I want to make sure that they're centered, then I can highlight those text boxes and put them on there. I want to bring that forward. Position forward. When they're watching my video, they can see that's important. Okay. Underneath text, we do have styles. So let me unlock my text boxes so you can see what happens. Let's say that I need to create a newsletter and I don't have a lot of time to think about the fonts that I'm going to put in it. I just want something simple, but I want it to look good. I can go to styles. Now, if styles is not showing up for you, it's under more, and you'll be able to find it through here, more for Canva. So styles. And you can scroll through these, and let's say I really like this one. I'm going to click on it. I don't like those colors as much as I thought. I can shuffle the colors until I find something that I like. Something that I think will look good. And it will be there. So it just comes up with font combinations and color combinations that just match one another. Or complement one another, I should say. Underneath styles, and this might be under more for you as well, you have you have audio music. So I'm going to click on one. And I might like that. You might want to have this on there. So I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to play that up. Okay, so anytime that my people that are viewing my presentation are looking at this slide, they're going to hear that song, and it will be there. If I decide that I no longer like it, I can click delete. I can also change how loud that's going to be for my people that are watching it. So that's all there. And those are free to use. They're copyright free, so you don't have to worry about any copyright infringement. Now over here, you've also got videos. You can look up videos. I like the thought of this, and I'm really going to get more into this one in the teacher student implementation one. But I would like to use one of these to kind of talk about, like, get kids pumped up for a lesson or talk about a book and maybe find a video that's got a setting, because you can add text on top of your little pictures there. So you can just drag it over, make it kind of like a commercial. But yeah, just know that you can upload videos and you can also record yourself again there. If you deal with data at any point in time throughout the year, you can make very, very catchy little graphs or infographics. And you can do this just by like clicking. That's a pictogram. I click back. I didn't want to do that. Let me get my presentation back up here. Okay, that off. Go back to charts. A lot of times what I use from this is the pie chart. And let's just say that we're talking about the types of drinks that people like. And you can delete some of the data out if you need to. And then you've got your nice little chart there. You can always change your colors up to match. So it's just really easy to make the graph be cute or just presentable, and you can animate things just like we did before. All right. So this right here is a folder, and the folder I created from my uploads because there are certain things that I use a lot. Like I use the Franklin County logo a ton. So to do that, you go to uploads, click the three dots, move to folder. You can create a new folder or you can add to a folder that you've already created, and they will be right there. And if you click on it a lot, it'll go to your frequently used bar. But you just click folders and you'll find it there. Another one's Giphy, and Giphy is just a cute place that you can find little gifts. If you want to put any gifts onto your newsletter or whatever it is that you're creating, you can do that. And that's it as far as like going through all of the different elements and what all they do to the side. So if you want multiple pages, you can click add page down here at the bottom. And yeah, so that's how you create one from blank. You can do the same thing with a template and just delete anything that you don't want off of there, and just add your things as you go. One of the best things about Canva too is that you can press the share button and you can share it with anyone. So I'm going to share it with Audrey's account. And I can make her be an editor or a viewer, and I can also add a message. And she will get an invitation saying, hey, you've been invited. And then we can collaborate and work on this together. If you want to share a link to anyone that just can view it, you can press the share button. Make sure that when you press share a link, you can share a link to edit, share a link to use as a template, or share a link to watch. And then copy that link and send it to them. The download button is one of my favorite things. I use this all of the time. Under file type, I highly recommend downloading as a PDF. Unless you're sharing like a Instagram square that we talked about at the beginning, then I would highly recommend a PNG. But PDFs are going to keep those videos clickable. If you want to link anything, if you want to hyperlink a picture, let's say, and let's just say that I want this to go to youtube.com, they could be able to click on that if they're viewing it somewhere online as a PDF. So download and then just upload that into your Google Drive after it gets done. The three dots have some other options to where you can share a link again, but there's also the present and then present and record. And you can also print out, like buy professional prints of whatever it is that you created if you want to. All right, now that was a whole lot of information. Hopefully, you found some things that were super helpful for you. And if you have questions about any of that so far, please let me know and I'll be happy to help in whatever way that I can. So I'm going to go back to home at this time. And underneath all your designs, if you just created something with me, you'll be able to see what we just created. If someone shares something with you, you can click shared with me and you'll be able to see whatever it is that that person has shared. And you've got it all right there. The last thing that I want to share with you is that you have this thing called Brand Kit. And Brand Kit is a way for you to go in. You can upload a font that you have purchased maybe through Teachers Pay Teachers or you have saved on your computer. You can click that and then you can upload it and you're going to have those saved fonts right there. So you can use those for any of the presentations that you create. I know this was super fast. If you have questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. The best way to learn is to play. So now that you have some ideas and some resources in your toolkit, I highly recommend for you just to get in there and click around on some of these templates and play around with them. And if you have any questions at any point in time, I'm Stella Pollard, and my email address will be under this video. I'll be happy to help. If you are a teacher and you need PD credit, please make sure that you fill that sign-in form. There's going to be some questions that you have to answer because this video is going to be shorter than an hour, and the sign-up part will be the rest of this time. And once again, if you have questions, my contact information will be at the bottom and I will be so happy to help. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you have had fun, and I can't wait to see what you create.